everybody. It's me, Azu. You already know that, but saying it again anyways. Got a bit of a sore throat. Little unfortunate, but that's okay. Just gonna work on this some more. Cause last time I got the violin. No, wait, it's a viola. Viola. Got the viola moving. Got the viola moving pretty good. Now I gotta get the rest of it moving with it. Just starting a little bit earlier. 5 minutes. So, how's everybody's day been? That's a question that I need to get used to asking because socialization is important. Apparently the last person at the job that the new job that I took, or one of them, the people just didn't like him very much because he was just not very social. And that was it. That was everything. Alright, let's see here. I need to move the viola upper arm. But first, I need to move all of these pieces of the viola that are a part of the hand. There you go, found it. Oh my god, there's so many individual sections. I'm just kidding. I was expecting this. Oh, I think in Brazil a couple years ago, we had a couple show called A Viola and a Seat, and they were all with singers that played country music from the interior of Brazil. Ooh, that sounds actually pretty cool. It sounds really fun. Yeah, I've never been to a concert like that. The most I've been to is some concert that I was given a seat for because my my violin teacher at the time was playing in the orchestra, and so I got to go and listen. That was kind of fun. I think I got all the pieces, so gonna make a thing. That's viola forearm. And then that plus the viola left arm for viola left arm. Last show I went to was in 2019 before all the Rona stuff. Yeah, I feel like that all that stuff that happened was really unfortunate. But, you know, couldn't really help it. Not once it started going, the train started rolling, the momentum just bowled us all over. Okay, so now I need to do body angles for each one of these. Alright, so we're gonna do this body angle this way. I do not think I need the main body of viola to be visible, or the side, really. Maybe the back. Yeah, and then I'll take the side off as well. That way I can see where the shoulder is. Because this has to move with the viola. I'm gonna squish it a tiny bit. Alright, and I gotta turn it a little bit. And for this one I might have to turn it a little bit as well. Okay, so that matches up the shoulder. I'll also do that for the body tilting. There we go, match up the shoulder there, match up the shoulder here. I'm gonna have to bring this down a tiny bit. There you go. Okay, that looks about right. I might have to bring it up a tiny bit more. Okay, let's connect it and synthesize corners. There we go. And these corners are different from the viola corners, so I'm gonna take a look at what I need to do here. It's nice depth. That viola, it stands out from the 2D. Yeah, I'm glad that people see that because I worked really hard on making it have that. Let's see, for this I think I'm gonna rotate it again a little bit, and when it comes back up I want it to rotate just a tiny bit more this way. Yeah, there you go. And then going away, I'm gonna keep it tilted the way it is because I'm gonna fix the elbow later. Okay, that looks about right. This I might have to turn this a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. This I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Then up might be a little bit more. There we go. Cool. Viola forearm needs all of these corners. So center is fine, but I need to turn it. Yeah, I hope that when this gets finished and Yam is using it, like it, you know, you really get that depth kind of feeling for it. Okay, let's see, this way turns it like this. gonna move this down a little tiny bit. Might shorten it a little bit. I don't know if you hear that. Cat's outside the door. I think I might have to let him in because he's getting really mad. Okay, he's happy now. Okay. Oh, nope. Need to move the forearm. Might want to shorten it a little bit. That looks about right. I think the left arm for the viola needs to come down even further on this corner. Yeah. I can turn the forearm a little bit more, have it look about right. Okay, that looks right. Center. I think I might have to move the overall arm a little bit. Turn, move out. Turn it a little bit more. Move it up a little bit more. That out. Okay. And then center. That center needs to be out a little bit further, so I'm gonna take the overall arm and move it, because the little V that your thumb and forefinger, your index finger, are supposed to make is like supposed to be near the end of a violin or a viola or whatever. So let's see here. That looks right. And then going down, I need to open this up a little bit. Open up the motion. There we go. Seeing so many pieces moving in such a complicated composition is making my head hurt. Well, there's more. There's gonna be more, so hold your brain inside your head, I guess. Do your best. Alright, so there we go. That's moving together. And then I need to move this out. So this is far orientation. Let's turn this. And this. I'm gonna go back to the main arm and adjust a little bit. center. We might also give it a little bit more. Give it a little bit more movement. Take the forearm, tilt it. So it's in the right spot. There we go. Tilt this up a little bit. And I might just tilt the whole thing a tad more. Get that lined up. There we go. And that looks better, I think. Grab the forearm, bend it a little further. Okay, so now we have the body's movement around. That's just like the rough movement. The fine movement in the hands will have to be another entire thing. It's a whole thing. Okay, let's see. The ribbon. We need this to stay on the forearm art mesh. So I'm gonna do that. Also, No Myriad, welcome. Nice to see ya. Okay, let's see. Gotta do a deformer here. Okay, so there's the ribbon perspective. And that'll be linked here. So what I need to do is I need to change the perspective when it turns, since this is supposed to be a little bit further this way, but I still want it to cover, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flatten this just a tiny bit and then start moving these points. I'm also going to flatten these points in as well. Just kind of scoot everything that way. Okay. This is almost right. I gotta move this couple of points here and there. I think I could make this a little bit smoother, so what I'm going to do is set that back to 0 and give it a few more divisions. And then I'm also going to give it a heavy deformation. There we go. So now I can have a few more points of control. And that should do it. Okay. That looks round, I think. That looks adequately round. Okay. So now we have that, and I can make it go the other way as well, so let's grab the center, scoot it out. Stretch out this side instead. Gonna squeeze this side as well. There we go. Just a little bit of movement here. I think I might have made it move a tiny bit too much here. But not too much on the other side, I think. Maybe a little too little, actually. There. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And I might not even need to do a Y thing for it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. Alright, let's set that to default. Grab a... what other thing is here? The wrist? That's gonna need a little more deformation. So I'm gonna grab the wrist and the glove, and I think I'm also gonna grab the sides of the palm here and the sides of the palm here. Put that in a deformer. Wrist deformer. Oh, I should probably specify left. There we go. Let's see here. Let's give it a bit of a perspective shift when it goes this way. Gonna add more. Okay. Just gonna scoot some of this over, stretch some of this out. Okay, and then from the side, it's a lot skinnier. Okay, and then these finger also. All these fingers also gotta move. Am I selecting the right thing? No. There you go. That's a little better. And then all the way over. this is going to be a lot more exaggerated, I think. Yeah. Needs a little bit more of that exaggeration here. And then here, I think I can actually reduce the exaggeration of the angle. And here I can open it up a little more. Cool. That works. That works great. Okay, so now I need to move the wrist for wrist rotation, or I guess wrist flex. And I think this will be hand tracked. Hand track wrist flex. So this one will need a completely new folder. Oh wait, no it won't. It'll just need a replication here. Replicate parameters. This time we'll have a -1 for minimum. And it'll also be called wrist flex Z, I think. Okay, so we're at neutral and we need it to flex outwards and inwards. So inwards, we're going to move all of this in. Actually, I'm going to rotate the whole thing and then match up everything else. It's going to rotate this, right? It can go pretty far, honestly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this down here. That up a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so we got some wrist stretch here. Right? And then going the opposite way. Not a whole lot is needed because the wrist doesn't need to come back too far. Okay, there we go. So now let's see if I turn the body, does wrist flex still work? Yes. Now let's turn it the other way. That's also good. Pretty good. I might have to give it a little bit of the body X parameter so that when I have it set all the way left, I don't rotate as far. Yeah. And it also doesn't need to unflex as far. I might want to reduce the height a little bit. There we go. Alright, opposite side. Okay, at center, that's a little bit shallow. But it might be okay. I can just do one of these. Turn this out a little bit more. And I don't think it needs to be as extreme. There we go. There we go. Cool. Just a little bit of wrist flex. It probably won't be tracked a whole lot. Because I'm also going to add an overall hand kind of movement. So hold on, let me get to the playing hand, wrist flex, ribbon perspective, nope, viola forearm. Yeah, so on the viola forearm, I'm also going to grab everything here, make a new deformer, forearm, but this is going to be hand track, so HT left hand X. Okay, let me replicate this parameter here. Left hand X. All right. So we're gonna pull this in a little bit. For left hand X. Maybe not so much. Maybe you don't need so much. And a little bit out for left hand X as well. Let me see what this looks like when the body turns. Okay, and then let me see it with the body at neutral. I might have to do some fine-tuning here. Okay, at neutral that looks pretty good. I do need to add another hand track. So this is going to be HT viola. No, HT upper arm left. No, HT left upper arm. Okay. I'm also gonna give this a left hand thing. Because when it contracts, I also want it to bend down just a tiny bit. Because that's how your hand moves, right? Your elbow also moves. And then coming back out, we need to lift a tiny bit, right? So there's a little bit of a lift there on the elbow. There we go. And then let me check. I'm gonna add this as well. Come back here. That looks right. Let me go down, turn it to the other way. And we'll check the motion here. That looks correct. Cool. I need to do a little bit of editing here. This is not intentional, so we'll delete that. Save. There we go. Alright, so now we have the hand moving along the neck of the viola. This is going to be important. And then the wrist flexing. Which will help show off whether or not Yam has good left-hand posture or not. Haha, I'm gonna make her have to play with a good posture on her left hand. Otherwise, everyone will see it. I'm just here sowing chaos sometimes. Alright. Let's get the fingers. Actually, no, the thumb. The thumb is gonna be pretty important. Let's see here. There's the thumb. So it is HT thumb, left thumb. Okay. It's gonna go with your wrist flex as well. So wrist flex in. The thumb's gonna turn a little bit, but follow the wrist in general. Might have to rotate it a little bit more. And flex it just a tiny bit. Okay. Then at center, needs to be moved a little bit over here. So we got thumb motion. Actually, I will have to unbend it just a tiny bit. Okay, so there's center. We'll move it out a little. Move that in. Okay. I'll also turn this a little bit more. Pull that. There you go. Yeah, I think the hand tracking will need the body X to be taken into account. Because it's pretty exaggerated, honestly. So do body X to the left, that'll change the amount that I turn this. Okay, so now that's center. That a little bit more. Just a tad. Cool. Let's bring it to the other side. Gonna move everything inwards a tiny bit because the perspective has shifted. So now this should be actually further in a little bit, more like that. Yeah, so more like that. And this will go all the way out. A little bit closer there. Perfect. Fell asleep while waiting? You're good, don't worry about it. No big deal. Testing out my my thumb motions here. Because I'm not gonna make the thumb move independently. Okay, here you go. Set everything to default. We're gonna replicate this. Oh, oops. Nope. That's not what I meant to do. Replicate. Replicate. Wiggle wiggle. Yes. Wiggle waggle. Oops. So, left hand. This is going to be hand track left one finger. Close. So 1 will be closed, and then 0 will be... Actually, let me edit this. That'll be... Yeah, that's about right, I think. So now I'm gonna grab these fingers. Pointer, 1, 2, 3. Pointer, root. That will have to be hand tracked. The pointer root will have to be hand tracked. And that will have to follow the wrist flex, actually. So let me put that in here. Okay, so wrist flex in. Then wrist flex out. There we go. Okay. And then that also has to follow the body angle, just in case. So we're all the way out on the left, all the way out on the right. Okay. See what it looks like. Center, left and right. Left and right. Right needs a little bit more. Left. See, center. Center needs to be down a little bit, I think. Yeah, down a little bit. Right and left. Okay, good. Wrist flex all the way in. It is neutral here, so I gotta move it. That looks about right. All the way left, and put here. All the way right. Put here. And I think I will have to turn it just a bit. Just a little. Here we are. Right, left. Okay. So that finger's in the right spot. Now I have to make sure that the thumb doesn't look weird. Let's see, where's that thumb? Wrist deformer, wrist flex. Pointer. Do I have this set? Oh, I don't have it set. Whatever happened to it? Okay. I have to redo the thumb. That's okay. I can do all the fingers first, actually. I'll just do all the fingers first. It'll be easier to get the thumb. So there's gonna be hand track. Left, fourth, root, no, actually that's pinky, root. Left. So also gonna rename this one left pointer root. There we go. Left pinky root. Okay, so wrist flex. Turn this. That looks right, I think. Let me turn this a little bit more. There we go. So let's see, center is here and all the way to the right. Rotates a little bit and puts it here, I think. Cool. Let me set that to 0, set that to 0. Do a few adjustments. Okay, there we go. That looks about right. Add in the rotation here. So now we gotta do the pinky on each of these. And I don't think it needs as much rotation there. Set that to 0. This is here. Okay, let's move it the other way. Set that there. Turn that. There you go. And here we go. So that's the pinky and index. We gotta move the ring finger. So here's the ring finger. Ring root is left side, so left ring root. Create. Set everything to default so I can move everything. left ring root is going to move with the hand. It's going to open up a little bit here. Okay, and then we're going to move it all the way out. Turn it a little bit. Yeah, that's right. And of course, I gotta make sure that this all looks right. That's what rigging artists are supposed to do. Go. Alright, let's add the body turn. Okay. So this doesn't need to be turned as much. Unturn it a little bit. There we go. Here's neutral. That in there. Move this out a little bit. Okay. What's that? Almost done here. And I think I might also have to shift the pinky a little bit too. Especially neutral on this side. That's supposed to be a little further. A little more attached. There we go. Okay, where's center? Here's center. Double check the pinky. A little bit more here, a little bit more this way as well. Okay. That looks about right to me. Magic floating finger. Well, I'll fix that. I will fix it. Don't worry about your magic floating finger. That's gonna be fixed. Okay. Let's see. Middle finger. Left middle finger root. Actually, I don't even need to say finger. Okay, let's go for wrist flex. So at neutral, we need it to line up correctly. So I think this is about the right spot for it to line up. Yep, and then to the further right, we need it to line up out here. And then inwards, we need it to turn And be about here. Cool. Okay, let me take a look at this. I think the way that these are arranged, we actually have to have the middle finger above the pointer finger, ring finger above the middle finger, and pinky above the ring finger. There we go. Now it shouldn't look so weird when the hand moves. Yep, that's right. Okay, back to the middle finger. Gonna thicken it a little bit at the base so that it looks correct here. Now give it some body turn. Here we go. So when turned like this, I don't think it needs as much width. Maybe? Maybe the ring doesn't need as much width. Yeah. Okay, back to the middle. That's good. Neutral is pretty good. Let's move it out. Okay, that looks right. Let's pull it in. Goes here. Then outward. This needs a little bit more turn. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now we go back to the thumb. Left thumb. Set to default. Grab the wrist flex. Turn this a little bit, move it in. And then we're going to flex the thumb out to make it look like it's stretching. And then for this one, we'll just flex the thumb inwards a little bit. Give it a perspective shift. And then for this one, we need the thumb a little bit lower. Go. And also for center, we need the thumb a little bit lower. There we are. Okay, and now we go to the other side. Flexed all the way out and flexed all the way in. That looks correct to me, so I'm not gonna correct that too much. Wrist deformer. I will correct some of this pattern here though. Okay, wrist former L. Cool. That looks good. I might just give it a little bit of... No, I won't. Reset. Hey there, Lothros, how you doing? Nice to see ya. Okay, let's see here. That looks correct enough. Okay, so this has to move. And tracking up the arm. Viola arm, okay. Set that to default. And add the tilt. Tilt this way. I think it's tilted a little bit further actually. Down, move this down. There we go. Okay, so we'll set this all the way over. Move this up again. Tilt it a little bit. That looks right. And down a little bit. A little bit more. A little more. Too much. Perfect. Okay, so now this is gonna tilt down. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. All right. So now let's go to the negatives. Oh wait, I forgot to do the upwards motion. Can't forget it. Can't forget that. Let's get that on there. Cool. I think I also have this in the wrong spot. Scoot it over a little bit. Okay, there you go. Cool. Set to default. Right, back to the viola left arm here. So we have -10, down, up, great. Okay, so up again, we'll need to tilt this. Attach it. Down. Tilt and attach. Might need a little bit more. A little bit more. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. So set this to 0. that down, tilt it a little bit. I'm gonna tilt it just a tiny bit more. There we go. Okay. Corner. 10 and 10. Let's get this turned and attached correctly. There we go. That looks about right. Maybe a little less tilt. Just a tiny bit. Tilt this down, move this down, tilt it a little bit more, move that down. Okay, there's that one. 3 more sets of 3. Just tilt that down, move that down. That's about right. Might not need as much. A little bit there. Yep, perfect. Okay. Set X to 0. Here we go. Just a bit more. Neutral's good. Tilt it down. And realign. There we go. So there's that one. And then the last of these, because I have to do a full combination of each of these points. Okay, so that's tilted up. Maybe a little less. A little bit less. Or maybe a little more. This one, for sure, tilt it more. Even more. Okay, and then this one, we're going to reconnect the side of the fingerboard. So that was not what I intended. Neutral's okay, but then the corner is wrong. Awesome. Okay, that should all line up perfectly, no matter which way it's tilted now. Yep, that's all good. Okay, let's set this to default values. So now I can put the viola pieces back visible. See this turning? Yep, there it goes. And there's the wrist flex. And there's the hand. hand motion a little bit. So let me set this to default. I might actually want to do a little bit more on this one. Yeah, I'm going to give it a tiny bit more. Tiny bit more turn here. There we go. Just a tiny bit more contraction in every state of being. There we go. Oh yeah, that's looking great. That is looking absolutely great. Cool. Alright, let's see here. Each of the fingers. Ooh. Now I'm thinking about it. Each of the fingers will contract, but then when you turn, they contract slightly differently. Which kind of sucks. Hold on. I am going to be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's see. We're gonna do the fingers on the left side here. So, and tracking left finger, 1, that's gonna be the pointer finger. This is gonna be a challenge. Alright, so let's see here. I think pointer finger 2 is gonna be pretty important. Let's do this. There's gonna be 3 individual deformers here. Finger 1, and then this is 1, first joint. And we are just going to turn it a little bit. And turn it out a little bit as well. So here's in and out for the finger. Okay. Also need to give it some difference. So on the X rotation, so the body rotates just a little bit, enough to make this a noticeable difference. So we don't need it to go as far out when it extends, but when it closes, I think that's okay. And then when we turn the body the other way, it'll be more exaggerated. So let's do this. Neutral, open, a little bit further, maybe further even. And then closed, we'll pull this in quite a bit. There we go. So that's the root of the first finger. Okay, next thing I gotta do, middle segment. Oh, this is gonna be great. It is gonna be amazing. I say that sarcastically, because hand tracking always takes so many steps. Finger 1-2, second joint. Okay. So it is closing all the way this way. And then opening the other way. Okay, so that's closed, open, closed, open. Now let's give it some perspective shift. So when we go to the left, we want the opening to be about to here, a little bit less curve. But when it's closed, we want it to go a little bit more this way. So I'm going to flatten this a little bit. Bring these parts out. There we go. Yeah, actually I might bring it down even further, honestly. I'm looking at my hand and seeing how it bends. So I think it's gonna bend a little more severely than that. Let's see here. A little more. A little more. Pull that in. Yeah. Okay, cool. That looks about right. Let's go to facing outwards. I am going to make the middle finger invisible for a second. I need this to look correct, so... Okay, on neutral, that looks about right. Full open, move this over. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit more motion this way. Might even have to flatten it. There we go. And I think this actually should be underneath. Pointer 3. Yeah, I think it should be. And this should be under all of them, honestly. Okay, so that's open, closed, open, closed. And then neutral closed needs to be a little bit more closed. A little bit more closed. Okay. And then over here, we just need this to be a little more open right there. Finger 1-2. Don't think it needs so much, but we'll do what we can. See what this looks like. At some point, I'm probably gonna have to test this live, I guess. Right, that looks right. Looks good enough. So let's set back to default. Grab the tip of the pointer finger. This is gonna be finger 1-3. And fully closed is gonna be kind of like this. Maybe a little further, honestly. And then shortened a little bit. I'm gonna rotate a little bit more just to make sure I can get this the right shape. There you go. That looks like it's pressing the string, I think. Let's turn this out a little bit. Okay, let's see, select. And then we're going to do ellipse interpolation. Actually, no. Let's go back to regular linear interpolation. And I'll just add another keyframe right here. -0.5. Add keyframe. Okay, pointer 1,3. You are going to need to be a little bit bigger in this direction. Seems about right. Okay, at 0.7, I think I also need another -0.7. Or is it 0.8? Yeah, let's try 0.8. I'm gonna add a keyframe here. Try to make this less funny looking. Turn this a little bit. There we go. Okay, that looks more. That's more like it. This will be a little bit difficult though, because when I turn, I have so many keyframes here to do. Neutral's okay. Pressing down should be like even more turned. Okay, that looks all right. This one needs to be quite a bit further. Maybe a little bit further this way, and turned. Gonna turn this a little bit more this way as well. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to move everything down just a little bit. I need it to look like it's still pressing on the same string. Okay, that's about right. Okay, finger 3. We'll need a little adjustment here, but I think also finger 1-1 is going to need a pretty hefty adjustment. Finger 1-2 is also going to need quite an adjustment. Alright, let's open and close the finger, see how that looks. At 2, that looks mostly correct. Could use a little bit more angle here, just a tiny bit. Then at 3, this is over here. Okay, back to finger 2. Negative 0.8. Add keyframe. And then at negative 0.8, we need to move finger 3 to match. Okay. So here's neutral. We'll open the finger. That looks pretty much right. Move that a tiny bit. Finger 1-2 is also going to give a little bit more. Finger 1-3 is going to be a little bit less crazy right there. There we go. That's right. That's good. There we are. Okay. Last set for finger 1. Okay. And then each successive keyframe. Okay, here we go. So there's the finger bending. I can't keep the line continuing because there's no like backing silhouette. So there's a bit that I can't really do anything about there. I might be able to try to do something with the finger 2. deformer, and that might look okay if I do it this way. So maybe that would look okay. Okay, that might be a little better. There's always going to be a little bit of a gap. The way that this was cut, a little bit of a gap in the line art. But you know, in manga and stuff, like you have a little bit of a gap all the time. Let's see, when we move the left hand, it doesn't stay in one spot, so I need to adjust that. This is correct. This part's correct. Reset to default. Let me close that. And we're gonna adjust the left hand again. And I'm also going to hide the other hand. So I can see this little bit right here where the shoulder joins up a little bit better. So hand track, upper arm. Maybe a little bit further down. Yeah, a little further down. Hand track, hand X. Turn, move. Oh, that is pretty far that I have to move it. So I'm gonna squish this a tiny bit, make it a little easier. Okay, hand X. I'm just gonna be like right up here. Yep, and I think I'm gonna also squish it a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Okay, back to the forearm. I'm gonna unsquish it, see if I can make that happy. Go. Then in center, that's happy. Let's turn it over. Center, that looks pretty happy. Let's see here. I guess I can squish it just a bit. Yeah, that'll look okay. That'll look okay. Move this up a tiny bit. There we go. That looks about right. So let's go far end, far side. Take a look at how the finger is pressing. think I still want to dip the upper arm just a little more. Okay, there we go. Left hand doing its thing. Let me put that here and squish it a little bit just to make sure. I think that looks pretty good. So now let's see how it looks when I tilt everything. Everything looks good tilted too. Yeah, everything looks great. Alright. And all you gotta do is do the exact same thing to the other 4 fingers. Splendid. You know, honestly, I might as well just copy the index finger, like this, the 2 middle and then the end section for the index finger, and just paste it for the middle finger. That's okay. Let's turn the middle finger back on. I'm not going to look at the ring finger. And I just do this process over and over. But you've already seen this process. Seen it once. Seen it 1,000 times, I guess. It's just, you close the finger. For the outer movement, it's like really easy. You don't have a lot of keyframes, but for the inner, you want to have increasing number of keyframes because the finger curls on itself and it like does this full rotation. And if you don't have those extra keyframes, it'll fold itself to do its motion. And then that doesn't look right. So, I think what I'm going to do for the rest of the fingers, I'm going to do the rest of the fingers off stream, so you're not bored to tears with that one. I'm going to do the bow hand instead. That'll be a little bit better, I think. So let's see here. We got the bow. There's the bowing arm, and here's the actual bow. Let me take a closer look. And then there's the actual bow on the tip. Okay. Cool, that's simple. That is simple. Viola, bow, position. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add the bowing arm, everything in here. Arm cuff, all of the ruffles, I guess. Okay, there we go. And then the last thing I need to also add is the upper arm, which is kind of like down here somewhere. Viola arm, upper right side. Cool. This is all gonna be inside of bow upper arm right side. Cool. And so this will need a leftwards movement, a rightwards movement, okay, and then also a downwards movement, and up. There we are. Combine these, synthesize corners, and those corners are not synchronized, so I'm going to move these over. Move that out, down, and we're still going to try to move that out. Sticking your elbow higher is kind of part of the form of viola and violin, honestly. So I'm gonna do a little bit of exaggeration there. There we go. That's good. Okay, now we gotta do left and right. Should be pretty easy. Let's set to default. Left, right. Give it a little bit of a twist. There we go. Okay, all the way to the right. Tilt it down, and then tilt it back up. Right, all the way to the left. There we go. Let's move this down. And then tilt it back up to the right. There's our connection there. Okay, so let's set this back to 0. Bring it down to the negatives. Okay. There we are. Let's do the corner. Scoot that out a little bit. Okay, other corner. Of course, we'll pull the elbow up. Okay, 3 more sets of 3. We're almost there. 0. Move that up. There we go. Let's move this down. Gotta rotate a little bit. Here we are. That should basically get it. And then the last corner, here we go. Tilt that elbow. Let's get that elbow out there. There we are. Okay, so now I grab everything that is not the upper arm and the viola bow position. Bow, right, forearm. Reset to neutral. Here we go. So this will need some adjustment. Do left. And then to the right. I'm going to try to make sure that this all looks correct here. Okay, so let's see here. This is neutral, and then over this way, it should be turned a tiny bit and moved over. Then maybe shrunken a little bit this way. Okay, so that means I have my elbow not out far enough. But it should be okay on this side. Gonna grab the elbow, scoot it out a little bit. Twist this a little, and that should line it back up again. Untwist just a tiny bit. There we go. That looks almost right. That looks almost right. I feel like there's something... Oh, now I remember. Now I remember. Okay, so... when turning left, this is gonna be a lot more horizontal. Like this. But when turning to the other side, it's going to be a lot more vertical. So I'm going to move this that way. Actually, I'm going to set this back to 0. Delete the keyframes and redo them. So this is going to have to be a lot more lot more flat this way. There we go. But I don't want it to start bowing yet. So it needs to kind of like stay in the same position. Relatively. But I think actually I can scrunch that up just a little bit. And scrunch that a little bit. Okay, that's about right. But that means that my upper arm here is in the wrong spot. Let me take this out from the upper arm. And we'll actually match these up individually. You know what? I think actually the hand needs to also be separate, as well as the bow position. That's more complicated than I originally thought. So let's see here. There's an arm cuff, sleeve, glove. I'm going to set everything at default again. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab everything inside of here, including the bowing arm, but not the bow. That will be forearm. Actually, no. Bow position. Okay, I'm gonna take that out. So the bow is now separated. Okay, let's set everything to default. Grab the bow right forearm. Get rid of the keyframes here, and we're just going to mess with the bow position until we have it the way exactly that it's supposed to be. Oops, wrong one. Position. There we are. A little bit shorter in that perspective. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's correct. And then with the body moving downwards, we also need it to move downwards. Set that to 0 first. It's also going to turn a little bit because the body just turned just a tiny, tiny bit. Also, don't want it to move too much. And then upwards, we're going to give it a little bit of a perspective shift. There we go. Let me see if the corners are correct. Let me synthesize corners, see if they're correct. Up, I'm going to have to squeeze this just a little more. Squeeze a little more perspective out of it. There we go. That's where the bow is supposed to be. And now I just gotta match where the hand is to where the bow is. Gives me a frame of reference, which is nice. Sometimes you have to, like, just go back and redo some things to get everything happy. Now, it does not tilt. Okay, so bow position needs to tilt. Grab this, tilt it. Okay, that looks about right. Go all the way to the right. Tilt it down. A little bit of tilt. A little bit of travel. There we go. And then back up. Let's do that. Might need a little bit more angle. Okay. Opposite side, let's go. Okay, that's good. Let's go down to the corner. And then up. All right, and then opposite side, let's go. Down, we'll tilt down, move that down a little bit. Let's move this over. Hey Jose, how's it going? For me, it's hanging pretty decent, I guess. I'm just hanging in there. doing more of this violin rig, which is going to be probably the craziest thing I do for a couple months, unless somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I need you to do this crazy thing." Alright, let's see here. That needs to be a little bit higher. There we go. Yeah, so right now I'm just trying to get the bow to move along with the violin in a way that makes sense. That one makes sense. How about the middle? Might not want to turn it as much. Turn it up a little bit and scoot it up. Let's pull this down, untilt a little bit. Anyways, glad to see that you've popped in to say hi. I really appreciate it. That everybody has come and said hi. Because it's a pretty lonely time when you just do your commissions. I think that should be all of it. Yep, that should be all of it. Okay, so now I can set that to default. Alright. Then I just gotta make sure that each of the 9 times 3, so that's 27 keyframes, are happy. I need to make sure all 27 keyframes are happy with this. So far, everything else has been pretty smooth. This is like me trying to like teach myself how to do it. Like done it once with my own hands for my model, but never doing that one again. Full motion hands, don't ask. Alright, let's see. We need the bow upper arm. The bow upper arm looks correct enough. So it's just bridging the forearm. So in center, it's good. Are you out here saying, "What can I say except you're welcome," or whatever? Okay, so this is going to be here, and I'm going to need to move this to about here. I don't know about this one. this one's gonna be kind of hard. I don't think the sleeves were drawn to be seen at this angle. I might actually want to ask Yam if she's willing to do like the insides of these sleeves. Because if I have the inside of the sleeve available to me, and like in this structure, I can bend the sleeve here and have it like round, you know? And then it'll look more correct, I guess. This should be like this, maybe a little bit further, honestly. Yeah. That's about right. I think I need to move the shoulder up a little bit more. But that looks about right to me. I would move this down a little bit. The hand would come up towards the elbow at this perspective, so I'm gonna undo the body, redo it. So now we have downwards. For this one, I think I can actually squish it a little bit more. So I'm gonna just try to make sure everything is happy. There's tilting down, tilting up, a little bit of tilt. Not much, just a little bit. To the right, let's tilt that downwards, bit of downwards tilt, that down, lengthen, there we go, and I'll fix that as we go, I guess. That looks about right. I need to bring this up just a tiny bit. And then I think I can actually turn the bow position just a tiny bit. Manipulate it just a little bit. Alright, last bit. 27 keyframes, let's go. It's gonna turn this, attach. Turn this, and then bring it down a little bit to attach. Okay, next one. looks about right. I'm gonna turn the arm a little bit more. There we go. Okay, next corner. That I might not have much I can do about. Center. Move that down. Move this up, I guess. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so here's down. So that's downwards. And then up. Okay, that looks right. Set that to 0. And we'll rotate that way just a little bit. That looks correct to me. Just a little bit higher. There we are. And then I gotta rotate it this way. A little less rotation. There we go. Okay, all the way to the right. Okay, and position's correct there. Let's turn it. Okay. Right corner. Yeah, hopefully this all works out. Hopefully Yam likes it. I'm sure she will. She likes like all of this stuff that I'm working on. Want to unturn it just a tiny bit? No, I'll turn it a little bit more. Then for this one, it's pointing up a tiny bit. I can do one of these. And I think that will look right when I finally adjust the last segment of the arm. Let's see here. Okay. And then all the way back up, which has its own little there we go. So bow, upper arm, last bit. I have to match this up so that it looks correct on each of these corners. Actually, what I should do is I should attach the upper arm and this torso area, upper body Z, shoulders. Actually, no. No. I'm gonna just do it with this. So, upper arm. Okay. I'm gonna bring this up, turn it. I think I will actually make a separate copy of the shoulders so that I can get some shoulder articulation in here. Turned. Bring this down a tiny bit, turn it a little bit more. I want it to like pretty much line up with everything. Because like this looks close enough. I know that the shoulder is actually supposed to move up, so I might want to rig that as well. Yeah. Because otherwise it might actually look weird. So instead, I will so this one's fine when it's shifted all the way that way, but this way, we need that shoulder to come up a little further. Because the body here has like this collarbone, and that's kind of like attached to where the shoulder is, so. Same with the center here, center neutral. But I might not need to make it so, hold on, let me put this back to center. Yeah, I might not need to make it so exaggerated on this one. There we go. That should be correct. Alright. There's those steps. Let's go over here. That's 0. And this should move it to attach. That's good. Center. Go. That should attach just fine. Last bit. Okay, almost done. match pretty nicely here. Okay. I turn this a little bit this way. Motion this way, okay, and then a little bit more this way. Okay, a couple more. This one matches up pretty well right here. Yeah, I need to make the little shoulder motion. Yeah, you're right. It looks like the shoulders popped a little bit. There's only so much I can do, but despite saying that, I have many tricks up my sleeve. Yeah, watching rigging is probably a little bit on the boring side, honestly, if I were to say so myself, but I like rigging, so I'm just willing to do it. So here's center. That looks correct. Nice look at this side. Turn the shoulder just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Forearm for the bow actually can probably come out a little bit further on this one. Back to bow upper arm, that looks good. Oh, but this one, this bit doesn't look quite right. There, that's better. Back to the upper arm. We are going to give it a little bit of a turn. Maybe boring, but it's still pretty amazing to see the progress made to make it move. I suppose. Depends on what you like, I guess. Yeah, there is a lot involved with making rigs. There's a reason why Yam says I undercharge. And there's also a reason why I undercharge. Because I don't disagree with her entirely on that one. the way things are with rigging, it's like, to afford rigging is like really expensive for a lot of people, and I would rather have more people enjoy being a VTuber and try to make a shit ton of money off of it. It's not really my thing. Let's see here. Oh, middle is still pretty off. That might be better. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so now I need to go over to the shoulders. Let's see. There's the wing root, shoulders. Where is the shirt lace? Upper torso. It's in wing. Wait, no. Upper body Y? It's an upper body Y. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this to default values. And shirt, collarbone, shoulders, yeah. Grab that. Make a new deformer. So this deformer is gonna be called Viola Shoulder. Create. So what I'm gonna do is Viola toggle. So when Viola toggle is on, then it'll move. If Viola toggle is off, then it will not move. So let's do it. So for this, gonna scoot this out a little bit here, just to make that look correct. And then all the way up. There we go. I think that looks good. That looks pretty good. Center here will be a little bit more height right here. Then with this extra height, it'll look I guess correct with the way the shoulder is moving. And then when the body is facing kind of more downwards, we need the shoulders to relax a little. Yeah, it seems like a fun little hobby you do in your free time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see how this all looks. That looks good, except for that corner there. Actually, I am not going to do something with that, with this parameter here. I'm actually going to move the upper arm because that is easier. So I'm just going to grab this, turn it a little bit, scoot it down. Perfect. Turn it a little bit, scoot it back up. Perfect. Let's turn it a little bit and shift over just a tiny bit here. Okay, cool. Here we are. A little bit of motion. I think this could be better, honestly. Hold on. I'm gonna move this up and this up. And then this one needs to be a little further down, I think. Tilt that over. There we go. Cool. I'm gonna go back and readjust these. That looks about right. Maybe a little more. Center. See how this looks on all the corners? All corners look okay. Tilted all the way over. Okay, so it needs a little bit right here. Just a little bit. A little bit of work. Okay, I think this is pretty much exactly as I need it, except for this little bit here. I hope Yam watches this little bit at the end. I might just send her a message or something. See if she can get the inside of this drawn out so that I can put these in a curve the opposite direction. Yeah. Because at this particular angle, it really needs it. Everything else has been going really smoothly, honestly. I'll do fingers off stream, and then I think the next stream next week, I'm gonna do these fingers here on the bow, and the bow motion, bowing on the strings, which is like just straight up and straight down. I think that'll be cool. So, I think this Saturday I was planning to do a stream. It was Bionicle, because I am an absolute nerd for Bionicle. Or I guess if you're in the know about the Bionicle memes, it's Bonicle or Bonkle. It's just another grindy game, but it's alright. It's all good. Actually, let me see what this looks like in physics first. Let me see. Is it recording the physics here? Properties. Okay, there it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's working. That is definitely working. I like it. I like it. Bow, upper arm. One more thing I gotta check. Going down. Turn it a little bit and attach it again. There. There we go. Perfect. I think with that, I'll see you on Saturday, I guess. I'll try to put up a waiting room on time. If not, I'll just do it like the minute of, you know, the usual sort of thing. If you know me, I'm not great at putting up waiting rooms and doing schedules. That's because I do all this shit by myself, honestly. Except for the music. Music, it's either like some free music or like Maya does it for me. So, anyways, hope y'all are relaxed. Have a good evening, or morning, or whatever, you know. See you next time. Jenna.